Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, hey, how art thou? I hope you're good. I hope you're really good. I really should probably at this point have this up the whole video. Like this, the entire video just needs to have this up. Just not even play with myself. Not even try to act like this is going to go over well. Not even try to act like any parts of this is going to be any good. I'm already here. We ain't even a whole 5 minutes in, and I know my sugar levels are going to spike. I know that. I'm fully aware of this. And I don't know how to manage it, but I'm just gonna let y'all know by the end of this, I'm gonna be on one. I'm just gonna be on. I'm already on one now. Just knowing what I have to talk about today, I'm gonna be on one, y'all. So just I hope to not cause you to have trauma. Hey, Quintessential. Hey, Miss Trisha. Hey, MBN. Hey, everybody in the bushes. We're going to do the politics of it all. We're going to try to do this today without completely losing our minds. But I got to keep y'all informed. I am the voice of you all, and I have to continue to scream from the mountaintop, scream from the rooftop, and I have to make you aware of what is happening across the fruited plains as we continue to monitor the epidemic of diabetes happening all over the fruited plains. All right, relax, relate, release. Breathe, Del Teddy. Breathe. Hey, Zap Allen. How are you? We're going to talk about some stuff, y'all, today because we need to be fully aware of what's going on. Sorry that I have to do it, but yeah, we got to talk about some stuff. So, hold on, y'all. I opened the wrong thing. Close. All right, y'all. So, today is Thursday, June 24th, 2021, in the year of our Lord, 2021. And yet we are still dealing with sugar spikes. So, our first story of the day. Y'all see, if this is the first story, and y'all know I don't throw you in the deep end at first. I ease you into the deep end. And if my first story has to start with Reverend Jesse Jackson and Reverend Dr. William Barber II being arrested, that's where that I was trying to let y'all know that it was downhill from the jump. I tried to prepare you, but unfortunately, it is what it is. So we starting right here. I mean, it's only going to get worse from here. I'm just telling you that now. So that's how I know my sugar levels are about to just be all the way out of control. All the way out of control. This is where we're starting. Okay. This is where it's starting. Dear God. Anyway, let me give y'all the information. So, Reverend Jesse Jackson and Reverend Dr. I'm sorry, Bishop Dr. William Barber II, they were arrested during a protest against the filibuster and so forth. Um, the protest was called a national call for more revival. Um, so, um, on Wednesday, Reverend Jesse Jackson and Bishop William Barber II were among more than 20 people who were arrested while staging a protest outside the U.S. Capitol. Um, they the protest they were arrested for crowding and blocking traffic during what demonstrators for the Poor People's Campaign called a national call for moral revival. Now, you know, Reverend Bishop William Barber II is his organization is called the Poor People's Campaign, and he's been out doing the business about fighting for poor people all across America. And so it goes on to say that demonstrators gathered in Washington, D.C. to protest the Republican filibuster, which played a role in upending Democrats' attempt to pass For the People Act, which would have made it easier for people to vote, which Republicans, they oppose because they know full well that giving more people the right to vote means less of them because they are less in tune with the fabric of the everyday person, or so we'd like to think. Um, So, besides the fight for voting rights, the protest targeted Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Mitch McConnell of Kentucky for failing to vote for the $15 an hour minimum wage increase. So they were protesting both the filibuster as well as those senators that failed to vote for the $15 an hour minimum wage increase. Um, it goes on to say we come it was quoted Jesse Jackson said we come not as an insurrection group but as a resurrection group. Today we must fill up jails. If you call yourself a child of God, you ought act like it sometimes. And that was Reverend Jesse Jackson. It goes on and on and on to talk about it. But here's the thing. Y'all see how quickly they descended upon Reverend Jesse Jackson and Bishop William Barber II. Jesse Jackson is clearly, old as all get out and poses no threat to anyone. William Barber is also of a certain age. I don't think he's as old as Jesse Jackson, but William Barber, being a man of the cloth, is not out here like the terrorists that we had going on January 6th. And the rest, and it was only about 20 people. Say that with me, 20 people. You had more than 20 people that was in and out of Nancy Pelosi's office during the terrorist attack. This happened yesterday. They were arrested yesterday. Um, Right, Reverend William Bishop William Barber II is infirmed, to a certain degree. He does have difficulties sometimes walking. I've seen him with a cane at times, and sometimes you see him hunched over and stuff like that. So he isn't, perfectly able-bodied. Even if they all were, there were only 20 of them. They descended upon these people like it was 20,000 of them, but yet they have no smoke for the terrorists that was trying to overthrow the government and kill politicians. No smoke. This story is as good as we're going to get today, ladies and gentlemen. This is because it's all downhill from here. I'm just, listen, I had some candy. So hold on, y'all. Hold your line. Hold your line. Let me get something. Cause we need, go get you something to snack on. Cause you're gonna need it. Cause it's about to be a whole lot of sugar spice. Hey Tabitha, we got a lot to talk about. I'm glad you're here. So we're talking about first the fact that Reverend Jesse Jackson was arrested yesterday, and along with Bishop William Barber II, because they were protesting outside of the Capitol building, the filibuster, as well as the fact that they didn't pass the $15 an hour minimum wage, and senators like Joe Manchin and Mitch McConnell didn't even show up to vote. Also, Tabitha, the last story, feature presentation, you don't want to miss. I'm telling y'all, you've probably already seen and heard about the last story that I have to do, but you don't want to miss it because I know I'm going to have a whole meltdown. Okay? We need candy around here, Zap Allen, to regulate our sugar levels. I got to put this in the fridge. I was about to eat some of my thin white chocolate Reese's. It's the white chocolate, but I feel like they're too soft and I need them hard. So hold on, y'all. Let me get some more candy. So our first story, we got to talk about Reverend Jesse Jackson and Bishop William Barber II being arrested because y'all got all the smoke in the goddamn world for men of the cloth, both of whom are elderly, and Reverend Barber is infirm, and Jesse Jackson ain't walking too, easily around anyway nowadays. Help us, Lord. Help us, Jesus. I don't want none of that yet. I'm gonna eat some of these that I found at the Dollar General, gummy unicorns, which is so good. Anyway, that's our first story. I ain't gonna even spend that much time on the first story because I know I need to hone in on some of these other stories. Dear God, y'all pray my strength in the Lord, because by the time I get to that fourth story, you and I are going to lose our collective minds. I'm just letting you know that now. Just letting you know now. So, in my fair state of Florida, not just in my state of Florida, and what is the bluest part of Florida? South Florida. Y'all, we're going all the way down to South Florida, which is the bluest part of Florida. And within South Florida, we're going to talk about one of probably the bluest of the three counties in the Tri-County area, that being Broward County. Hey, Nicole Stevens. Broward County of Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach is probably the bluest of all three counties, okay? And that's because Dade County has a lot of the Cubans down there, and they typically go Republican. But Broward County is as blue as it gets in the state of Florida, as blue as it gets. So, apparently, Let me read y'all the first two paragraphs of this article, okay? A school in Florida temporarily pulled its yearbook from sale following complaints about some of its Black Lives Matter content. 2 pages of the West Broward High School yearbook showed a number of students holding placards while mentioning their participation in the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as featuring the names of people who have been killed by police in the U.S. The school administration told students on Friday that they must stop distributing the book. Quote, most of most of it is history of why it's happening. Um, End quote. Edge, a yearbook co-editor in chief Elise Twitchell told Local 10 News. Quote, I guess more parents' complaints came in. So why is this stuff popping up like this? So here's what's going on. Here's what the school had to say. Quote, we just didn't feel that including anything beyond Black Lives Matter was appropriate because we thought it took away from the purpose of the page, said West Broward High School yearbook teacher David Fleischer. This is a mess, y'all. This is a mess. He goes on to say, I know that their intent was to do the right thing. I'm just not sure that their execution was necessarily appropriate. Indefinitely suspending the yearbook over a spread advocating for education about racism is not what a world-class school does, he added. The administration had the opportunity to review the Black Lives spread before publication and chose not to, thereby tactically approving its inclusion. So what the yearbook teacher is saying is, y'all looked at the proof. Y'all saw that this was in here, okay? And y'all ain't say nothing about the Black Lives Matter pages was there when y'all looked at the proof and said it was okay. So now y'all over here telling us that we got to stop selling the yearbooks. A mess. A mess. Here's a quote from this is a statement from Broward County Public Schools. Here's a little footprint and caveat to this that you all don't know. The superintendent of Broward County Public Schools, I guess I should say at this point, was a Black man who was arrested recently. I think that was, and Tabitha, if you're still in here, you might be I can't remember his he was a superintendent Runcie. I think his name is Robert Runcie. He's a Black man, but he was arrested about a month ago, somewhere around, I think it was in April. Hey, B.R. Burns. Oh, and there's a scandal involving him. So now you see all of a sudden all of this going on against Black Lives Matter. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's a coincidence. I don't know. Here's what Broward County Public Schools had to say. Quote, Broward County Public Schools supports and encourages students' freedom of expression. After concern was expressed last week regarding editorial student content included in the West Broward High School yearbook about the Black Lives Matter movement, the school's administration paused distribution late Friday afternoon while the concerns were carefully reviewed. As the yearbook is intended to highlight notable and newsworthy events from that year, student journalists exercised their freedom of speech in documenting the movement. As a result of the review, distribution of the yearbook resumed Monday morning with an insert noting that as a governmental entity, the Broward County School Board must maintain a neutral stance on all political views. Therefore, the views expressed in the yearbook are not sponsored by the district. You see, and that is the extent to their quote. So here's what happened. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim. Yeah, I don't know if you are aware. Now, I'm sure you know the guy who's the superintendent of schools in Broward is a Black guy. His name, I think, is Robert Runcie. RUNCIE. He was arrested about, I want to say it was like a month ago. I think it was April, month and a half ago. Um, hey Laurie, what's going on, boo? And it was a whole scandal, and I'm not sure if he's been ousted. But back to the point at hand, it looks like the school board did what school boards do. Instead of telling these parents, now West Broward, we're talking about the wealthy area, a wealthy area of Broward. So you're talking about out there in Pembroke Pines area, and not the regular Pembroke Pines east of I-75. We're talking about the Pembroke Pines west of I-75, where you got to have a little piece, a good piece of change in order to stay there. All that stuff on the west side of I-75 in Broward County, you got to have your good piece of change to stay out in that area, going toward the Everglades area and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm telling you what happened. Racist as, privileged as white parents saw that in the yearbook. The Karens and Toms of the world called the school and said, I know y'all ain't letting this Black Lives Matter happen. Mind you, and then the school pulled it down. They called the school board. The school board said stop selling it. And then when they got pushback, because they've learned, yeah, we can't exactly tell them not to put that in there. If the new, because the whole point of a yearbook is to document things that happened that year, good, bad, and in between. That's what the yearbook is for. It's like a literary time capsule where you're supposed to have pictures and things like that included in there that documents what happened that year. So 20 years from now, when y'all go to y'all 20th reunion and you looking at a copy of the yearbook, you could be like, oh, that did happen our senior year. Good, bad, and in between. And so now, and because I'm sure there were students from that school who participated in rallies and protests last summer, which would have been just before the start of their senior year, they wanted to document that that was something that we were involved with our senior year of high school. But because the Karens of the world have a problem with Black Lives Matter, now it can't be in the yearbook. Right. Them pull exactly, Tabitha. Them pulling the yearbook, that violates their student, which is why they had to backpedal and pussy pop off of it and say, and then they put the little disclaimer on there. Now y'all got to put disclaimers on stuff that involves Black Lives Matters and Black people, but you ain't doing none of that for all of the tomfoolery. Do y'all know the type of tomfoolery and fucktitude that goes on in a doggone yearbook? Hold on, y'all. Just got a message. I don't know what that message was. I mean, let's just be clear. A mess. A mess. Y'all see where I'm going? Do y'all see where we're going with this? I'm sure that it was some Black kids that was in there, and when their parents found out that they was pulling it because of the Black Lives Matter, oh, I'm sure those parents went and called the school board and said, oh, this is what we're doing today. They called the school and said, oh, this is what we're doing. So my child, because maybe my child was about to, let's say my child was about to order it or go, I sent my child with money to go buy a yearbook. And that's the day they got there that morning, was told, oh no, y'all can't buy it because, and you ask, well, why I can't buy a yearbook? Oh, because they pulled it because of the Black Lives Matter. And let's say I was one of those Black kids that was on that page, I would have been like, oh no, the fuck you, I know the fuck you. I would have called my mama would have came out there windmilling. Y'all know how us parents get, parents be, listen, people don't play by their kids. And so I know Keisha and Raheem mama went out there windmilling. Like, I know the fuck you lying. And they were like, you got to take that up with the school board. I'll be right there. Don't worry. I'll go right to the school board. Hey, let's Stanker Jenkins. Hey, hey. Anyway, I'm sure they was out there windmilling. This is the listen. I told y'all it's just gonna get worse and worse. I apologize now because I'm telling y'all this is just it's not going to get any better. The sad part is, remember what I told y'all. Broward County is as blue as it comes, as liberal as you're going to get in the great state of Florida. Of the Tri-County area, there's pockets of blue in Florida. You got South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. You got the I-4 corridor to include Orlando, the pocket of blue in Orlando, and the pocket of blue over there in the Tampa area. And then you got a small pocket over there in Daytona with the college students there. You got a pocket of blue up in Jacksonville, and then you got a pocket of blue in Tallahassee because of the student population there. That's it. The rest of Florida is red. Now, the largest blue population that we have is down in South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. And so of the three counties, Broward is probably the most liberal. That's as blue as it comes. They usually vote in the 90th percentile Democrat. If you got this kind of stuff going on there, it goes back to something I've been telling you all. Just because someone professes to be progressive, just because someone is a Democrat, does not mean that they align with Black people or they give two shits about what Black people are going through. Let's be very clear. White supremacy and white privilege permeates all classifications, all political parties, all political ideologies. Let's be very clear. Listen. Our last two stories. I'm gonna try not to. This is. We got two more stories. The last one, I know I'm gonna lose my mind. I know I'm gonna lose my mind on the last one. So I'm gonna try the best I can not to lose my mind on this young lady who we have to talk about next. I'm gonna try not to lose my mind too much on her. But because I know that last story is gonna send me. It's gonna send me. I'm just telling you now. It's gonna send you too. So Kirsten Sinema wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post. The title of this op-ed says, "We have more to lose than gain by ending the filibuster." I'm going to just read the first three paragraphs of this ode to fuctitude. I'm going to just read the first three paragraphs. Everyday Arizonans are focused on questions that matter most in their daily lives. Is my job secure? Can I expand my business? Can we afford college? What about health care? When can I retire? Is my community safe? Meanwhile, Much of Washington's focus is on a Senate rule requiring 60 votes to advance most legislation. That's the first three paragraphs. Take me, Lord. Take me higher, Lord. Take me higher, Lord. Dear God. Now, all of these rhetorical questions that she just asked are dependent on laws being enacted in Congress. And that cannot happen, you stupid ass dick fuck. As long as there is a fucking filibuster and you and your fellow fucktard Joe Manchin are opposing it, are opposing abolishing it. Hello, last time I checked, Kirsten Dunst, you did not vote for the $15 an hour raise in minimum wage. Last time I checked. But you asking, is my job secure? Can I expand my... Wait, what? Can we afford college? Not at minimum wage. If we don't have the right to vote, okay? If we can't secure the right to vote and secure the right to have people in office that are going to be enacting laws for our best interest, how then can you truly get to answers or solutions to these rhetorical questions? I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm mind you, she aligns herself with the Trumpers. Let's just be clear. Look at her voting record. Her voting record shows you she voted around 50% with the Trumpers, more than any other Democrat in either house. Shall we talk about Kirsten Dunst and her story that she came up about her life? I mean, here's what I have found about her. Okay. She told the story about living in an abandoned gas station with no electricity and no running water. And then people went and doxed her and found out that that was a lie, that she did live somewhere and with her dad, and her dad was paying the electricity bill and the water bill. Then members of her family came out of hiding and said, oh no, she fabricated that story because it, quote, tugs at people's heartstrings. And that was what she was going for. But you know, it's not the truth. That's what her own family said right there from Arizona. Hey, Jason, I'm glad you came in. You came in during the right part. Well, we're talking about the senator that you people put in place in the great state of Arizona. Jason. That's my boy, Jason. But she's a liar. She might as well be a Republican. She fits the bill. Lies about her life. Writes these op-eds where she's acting as if she's caring about the people, but every time she votes against the will of the people. Hey, Miss Queenie. Let's be clear. Kirsten Dunst wants to do everything to keep the filibuster because she doesn't want to be seen for who she is. a racist ass white woman who's a conservative cloaked in a raggedy ass shake and go Republican wig. Okay? She is a racist conservative cloaked in a raggedy ass shake and go Democratic wig, I should say, not Republican wig, Democratic wig, okay? She is one of these idiots in not only the Senate but also in the House. That's always on the left side. It's always the left that are out here clamoring for we're here for bipartisan support. We're here for reaching to the other side. We're here to so that the people know that Congress is acting, together. Meanwhile, on the other side, every time y'all reach across, they slap your hand and say, bitch, we ain't here for that. Every time y'all reach across, they slap your hand. God forbid, if they are in power, they don't even open the door for you to try to reach your hand in and shake their head and no, when they are in power, that aisle has a brick wall. The wall that Trump said he was going to build, that wall was built. If that divides the Senate Republicans from the Senate Democrats, please understand. And there's no reaching across the aisle or that wall when they're in power. But magically, when the Dems are in power, when the left is in power, these stupid idiots go out of their way now to say, oh, we want to be bipartisan. Oh, we want to work with the other side. They're not working with you. Why do you want to work with them? Why? These people make my nuts itch. I'm just let me read you another excerpt from this ode to fuctitude that she wrote. Quote, would it be good for our country if we did, meaning abolish the filibuster, only to see that legislation rescinded a few years from now and replaced by a nationwide voter ID law or restrictions on voting by mail in federal elections over the objections of the minority? The question is less about the immediate result from any of these Democratic or Republican goals. It is the likelihood of repeated radical reversals in federal policy, cementing uncertainty, deepening divisions, and further eroding American confidence in our government. This is an idiot who does not know history. This is an idiot who doesn't even understand why the filibuster was put in place to begin with. It wasn't put in place for what we have going on now. Please understand, Kirsten Sinema, they were passing laws before there was a filibuster. Hello. But what she wants to do is paint this picture of a worst case scenario. Mind you, if you abolish the filibuster and you get voting rights, the Voting Rights Act passed, and you make it more so people can vote, probably what you're going to have is less of the idiots that you're afraid of in this statement that you made being voted into Congress, and more people who are level-headed thinkers. But that just makes too much sense. Your job as a senator is to pass laws for the people. That is your job. And if you haven't noticed, dear one, Mitch McConnell has already told us, I ain't helping you whores pass anything. So what that means is you are sitting there collecting. How much do senators make? Somewhere well into six figures. Okay, I think they make, you know, what, about 100 on average, about 120. Let's say average about a 120. Maybe I'm gonna go at the lowest, maybe 80 some thousand. But you're making a nice chunk of change in addition to the money that you already make from your career and your businesses or whatever. So you want to continue to be paid. You want to continue to, have all of the luxuries of being a senator, being flued out everywhere, being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for speaking engagements, getting premier health care for free, getting all of, as long as getting all of the things that comes along with being a senator, but not doing a goddamn thing. Because as long as there's a fucking filibuster there, you all are not going to pass laws. Let's just be clear. There's going to be no substantive laws passed. I'm trying to understand, y'all. I mean, does she not understand? I told you, her and she is a racist conservative Republican cloaked in a raggedy ass shake and go Democrat wig. Okay, we see you, boo. Just because you got on that ugly ass, raggedy ass shake and go wig, saying, "Oh, I'm a Democrat." No, girl, we see you for who you are. Mind you, hello, the very same filibuster the uh, that's keeping these voter suppression laws in place is going to be the same filibuster that keeps your ass from winning another seat in the Senate. Let's be clear. Because if you think by any stretch of the imagination that they're going to put your ass back in there, Kirsten Cinema, because you giving them a little, you giving them a little hand job, a roundabout hand job, you know what I'm saying? Because you giving them a little political sloppy toppy, because you giving them a little political hand job, you think they're gonna keep you there? Baby, they're gonna toss you to the side like a used piece of paper towel and put in the most racist ass Republican ass Marjorie Taylor Greene esque fucktard that they can find. A mess. A damn mess. A damn mess. You're not here for the people. You're not here for equality. You're not here to do any business and not here to be about the work of the United States legislature. You are here for your own selfish reasons, which is to prance your ass on television as much as you can to be seen. So I was about to go down a road, y'all. I was about to drift down a road that I shouldn't drift down. But I'm gonna save that one because you all are waiting for this next story. I'm gonna leave Kirsten Cinema because I feel myself. Listen, before I do this next story, take a moment, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment where you need to go get your get you a sugar snack, something that's going to regulate your sugar levels. Please take a moment. It's time to regulate our sugar levels. I'm telling you, you want to do that before we continue, because this next story is about to send you to a place you don't want to go. I'm telling you now. Don't say I didn't warn you. Just telling you now. Take a moment. I'm taking a moment myself. I'm eating some of these gummy unicorns because you're gonna need it. God help us. God help us. God be with us. God be with us. All right. Now, some of y'all, hey Cams, what's going on? Some of y'all may have already heard this story. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Zap Allen. Jason lives currently in Arizona. He'll tell you she doesn't represent Arizona. She doesn't. They hate her. They hate her. He lives in Arizona. He can tell you they hate her. All right. So, where's my next story? You may have seen this because it's going viral. So, there's a 9-year-old in the great state of Minnesota. Oh, yes, Minnesota is back to being Minnesota. That's having a major sugar spike. A 9-year-old little girl. I don't like to do things about children. I don't like to go in on children, but I cannot not go down this road because, and this is what I mean when I say, when people start to say, oh, it's going to get better. Oh, children are not born right. They're not, but they're very quickly and very early in life turned racist. They are, put their parents sew up their mantle of white privilege and make sure they have on their breastplate of white supremacy. So let me show you what she looks like. Take myself off screen because you need to see her. Now I'm going to play the audio of the video. I'm not going to show the video. The video is on YouTube, but because I don't want to get a copyright strike, or I'm not going to hold on. Why I can't access my screen? Hold on. Damn it. Hold on, y'all. All right, there she is. Now, this is a 9-year-old girl. Let me give you the context. She is speaking at the school board meeting. As you know, all school boards have a portion of the meeting where you can make up where the public can sign the roster and come and speak before the school board. I'm going to play the audio of this and just leave her picture up there, but this is her speaking. And let me hold on, y'all. Hold on. I hope this works. Y'all let me know if y'all hear feedback, okay? I don't want it to be feedbacking. Hold on. Y'all can't hear it if I'm muted. Hold on.
Here again. The other day I was walking down the
hall. Oh, wait. I'm trying to get this to play. Screw it. If they get me, they get me. They just gonna have to get me. If they get me, they get. I'm gonna play the video for y'all. If they get me, they just happen to get me. But what I'll do is I'll do another layout where it is if they get me, they get me. You know, it won't be the first time they got me. All right. So let me share this screen. Because it's important to our story. All right. All right.
The other day I was walking down the hallway at Lakeview Elementary School to give a teacher a retiring gift. I looked up onto the wall and saw a BLM poster and an Amanda Gorman poster. In case you don't know who that chick is, she's some girl who did a poem at Biden's so-called inauguration. I was so mad. I was told 2 weeks ago at this very meeting spot, no politics in school. I believed what you said at this meeting. So at lunch I went up to my principal to tell him about the BLM poster and that I wanted it down. He said it's not coming down. I was like, yeah, it is, because the school board said on May 25th, no BLM or politics in school. He said, that's weird. They were the ones who made them. I was stunned. When I was here 2 weeks ago, you told us to report any BLM in our schools. Apparently, you know they're in our schools because you made the signs. I said there should be no BLM in schools, period. It does not matter the color you make the posters and the font you use. We all understand the meaning. It is a political message about getting rid of police officers, rioting, burning buildings down while King Governor Welch just sits on his throne and watches. We all know. Changing the font or the color of posters does not change the meaning. I am 9 years old and I know that. You expect me to believe that you did not know what you were doing by making these posters? Come on, people. I do not judge people by the color of their skin. I don't really care what color their hair, skin, or eyes is. I judge by the content or the way they treat me. MLK said, I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That dream has come true. I do not care or look at the color of skin, but you make me think of it. I have Asian, Mexican, white, Chinese, black friends, and I don't care. I like them because some of them make me laugh, some are sweet and kind, sporty, or share the love of God. They are just my friends. You have lied to me, and I am very disappointed in all of you. You cannot even follow your own rules. If you're going to do that, why do we follow any rules we deemed unfit or ridiculous? I'm not following your mask rule anymore then. Get the posters out of our schools. Courage is contagious, so be courageous.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we have to deal with. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the next generation. That's 9 years old. 20 years from now, she won't even be 30. That's what's coming down the pipe. Now y'all see why I said my sugar levels were going to be spiking. Now y'all see why I said I was going to probably be having whole meltdowns. Entire meltdowns. Y'all heard the little part she included in there? If you won't follow your own rule about the BLM posters, then I'm just not gonna follow your wear mask rule. Did y'all hear that little part in there? Where am help me, Lord. Help me, God. I need, Lord Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Uh, 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 I needed this, you know. What do we, this is why I'm saying people thinking that this country is getting better. Listen, when I was in school, this is how you know her parents wrote that, or maybe kids are just way more bad. When I was in school at 9 years old, we weren't caring about posters on walls, and we were not caring about politics and all of this stuff. We could give a shit. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I don't. What do y'all want me to do with that? What do you all want me to do with that? Y'all saw how she disrespected Amanda Gorman? Because this is how you know she's racist. Because she started saying the Black Lives Matter poster, and then she segued to saying a poster of Amanda Gorman. What is the problem with Amanda Gorman? Because if you don't got no problem with color or skin complexion, you should have no problem with Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman giving a speech is not political. You got a problem with this black girl. I notice how you conveniently, when you put down your list of friends, make sure you put the black people last, because you probably didn't originally intend on saying the black friends, but included them on the end because you felt, well, I guess I gotta mention them since I said I don't care about people's skin. And y'all know their go-to. Their go-to is always Martin Luther King saying, "Don't judge people by the content, by the color of the." Fucktards always do that because they never listened to Martin King's full speech. They didn't listen to the full speech. All they know is the stupid little excerpts that they hear once or twice a year, once on Martin Luther King Day, and then the second time, one time on Black History Month. And that's all they ever heard is, I hope that my children, aren't judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. They missed, even if I take what he said in that line, Martin King was not talking about he was talking about his 4 black children. And what he was saying was, I don't want you racist ass bastards to always be profiling my kids because they're black. I don't want you always to think that the worst of my kids because they're black. See, the white people missed the whole thing that he was saying. I ain't gonna even go to the part where he had a whole 3/4 of the speech that was all about the check that America had written that came back for insufficient funds. We ain't gonna even go to that part where he was, berating the entire American political system. And how you gonna talk about you don't want politics in school, but you over here reading excerpts from Martin Luther King's speech, which was clearly political? For those people who need this, some of my other content creators and some of my other fellow YouTubers who may want the link to that video because they might want to use it at some point or they might want to discuss it. Here's the link Here's the link just in case, because you might need that in your arsenal at some point. I'm trying hard, y'all. I'm trying. I'm pulling myself off going in on this child because she's a minor and she's 9 years old. And I know I do think part of this is her parents. But I think that I think it probably originally did stem from her. And she probably went to her parents and probably it started from her. She wrote some stuff down, and her parents said, "Nah, let me help you with this. You need to put this in there too. You need to put this in there too." Then she was probably at home practicing that thing like it was some Easter speech. You hear me? She over there in front of the mirror, in front of her parents, practicing. All right, Karen, tell me, show me how you're going to read this. Oh, I'm sure, because the conviction with which she did this, that's not the conviction of someone who didn't already have that feeling and ideology. Now, I will maintain her parents probably gave her, no, put this in there. Oh no, you got to include this. But the basis, the foundation of this amount of racism comes from upbringing and comes from her already having this belief in this ideology. Because if that was the case, why do you have to mention Joe Biden? Why you got to mention all this? What's going on, little baby? All of this got to be mentioned. You got to mention the masks. Come on now. A mess. Oh, she felt that speech. Oh, she felt it for real. Please be clear. Nine years old. 9 years old. I, I don't know what to do with that. You let a 9 year old black girl go up there and speak passionately about Black Lives Matter or about the things that concern the business of us black people. And you tell me how she ain't gonna be quickly sat down. Did you see the lady in the background on the left side? The lady in the background, if you're looking at her to her left, that must have been the mama. Because if you look at her face and you go back to the video, she was over there just as smiling and just as proud and like, yep, a future Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, I put the link in the chat. I'll put it in the chat again. This is what we have to deal with. Right. Everything she contradicted herself so much in that speech. Because I don't see why Amanda Gorman had to be drugged into this. And then for you to disrespect Amanda Gorman, this if you don't know her, that's the chick that wait, what? See, that's the level of disrespect right there. That is trash. 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 There's the link if you need it. Um, if any of my fellow YouTubers need it, there's the link. I, I don't know. What do you do with that? The fact that I guarantee you, she went to the, she probably wrote this the way it was for a particular reason. She probably, you could see that the problem is Joe Biden. And what she did was she wanted that Amanda Gorman picture down. Because Amanda Gorman, mind you, when you look at pictures of Amanda Gorman at that inauguration, I've seen a ton of pictures, and I don't know that I've seen Joe Biden in any of those pictures. But what it represents is the inauguration. And you see how she said the fake inauguration or the so-called inauguration, what she called it or whatnot. She had a problem with Amanda Gorman's picture. But because it was over there next to the Black Lives Matter, she could use that as her selling point. A mess. And so she probably went to the school's administration and said, y'all need to take that picture of Amanda Gorman and Biden down. No, I don't. It's political. No, it's not. And it will be going down. Because the school board said dot, 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 dot. And what about that Black Lives Matter? They said you can't have that either. And so she included so she made the focus of Black Lives Matter, but then tried to lump in Amanda Gorman with this. Just as racist as it gets. Racist as it gets. A mess. A damn mess. This is what we have to contend with, y'all. And let's be clear. They want to make Black Lives Matter a political thing. Black Lives Matter is not a political thing. It's a safety to life issue. It's a trying to end the genocide of an entire group of people type of thing. That ain't politics to me. That's just now it ties into politics because we need politics in order to stop Black people from dying. But in its true essence, it's about people simply wanting to live and not die. That video is already making its rounds. And those of you with platforms, you need to push it out on your own, on your platforms, so that her and her parent, first of all, even if I am her racist as parents, you have to know that in this climate right now, that's not going to go over well. And you have to know that people going to find you and your child. I'm sure it's people that already doxed them and found out where they live and is probably having protests outside their house as we speak. Now your daughter can't go nowhere in America. That I hope it was worth it. Because now your daughter ain't going to be able to go nowhere in America. Nowhere. Don't look for your daughter to be getting accepted to any of the those nice schools that you want to get accepted to. Nah, we ain't doing that. Sorry. Nope. A mess. You and your daughter are not going to be able to go anywhere in America now. Nowhere. Because y'all know they already done doxed these people. And that happened a couple days ago now. So that video is now making its round. And I'm sure it's about to go. It's already viral. And it's about to get even worse. But they're going to get you. they're gonna get you. Please be clear. I hope she don't plan on going back to school next fall when those little black kids, when Raheem and Keisha them see you on the playground, these same black friends that you care so much about that make you laugh and all of that good stuff. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm gonna end it here before I go down a road that I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down this road. It's a 9-year-old child, but I will say her parents are trash. Trash for even allowing her to go up there and make statements like that. Trash. Complete, utter, gutter snipe trash. 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 Hot ass garbage. Hot ass garbage. That's what her parents are. And they're raising her to be hot ass garbage. These are the worst of us. These are the worst of us. I keep trying to tell y'all, these things are getting way worse before they even try to get any better. Anyway, y'all see what's happening. I'm just here to give y'all the politics of it all, break a little stuff down. We'll we'll be back. I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I think I gave y'all enough today. I'm choosing not to have this full meltdown on this 9-year-old. Dear Lord, help us. Anyway, y'all. Until next time, thank you all. I want to say I love y'all. I love on you all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to myself and or the channel. It is much greatly appreciated. I'm here for y'all. I'm here to be a voice for y'all. I'm here to keep you all informed and edified. Um, yeah. Shout out, and I forgot to say this last night on my when we did a discussion on David Makes a Man last night. Shouts out to all my subscribers who have been laying in wait for 2 years for David Makes Man. I got a lot of subscribers that I got from David Makes Man, and they don't comment. They don't really watch all the other reviews. They just here for like a David Makes Man. I do see some of them in Queen Sugar, but a lot of them just stay silent. They done all came back out of hiding. They here for David Makes Man. They've been in the comment section doing what they do. So shouts out to all those who came out of hiding. They might not even see this because they only watch David Makes Man stuff, but I'm here for it. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, maybe I wouldn't really be able to talk about this. Now, I know Tabitha gonna talk about it. I ain't even got to worry about Tabitha. I know she gonna talk about it. Maybe really B might talk about it because this stuff needs to be known. People got to hear this, and people need to see what we're dealing with. People gotta see and hear what we're dealing with. Anyway, that's all we got for y'all. Until next time, thank you all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.